Hello, good morning, everyone. Sorry for the late start here. This is Kevin with Fluxx. Thank you for joining me today on our training on navigating your data in Fluxx. This training is an overview on how to navigate and access data on your Fluxx site. We'll also be defining some commonly used Fluxx-specific vocabulary along the way. If you should have any questions at any time during the webinar, please type it in the chat. We'll be dedicating the last few minutes or so for questions and answers, so we'll be saving all of your questions for then. Okay, in this Fluxx 101 webinar, we'll be answering the following questions. Where does my data live and how do I navigate to it? What is a card? How are cards used to facilitate navigating through my data? How do I navigate Fluxx more broadly to access data across the entire system? How does navigating Fluxx differ depending on your profile? And as I mentioned earlier, there will be a quick Q&A at the end. Okay, so the first question we're going to answer is, how does my data live? Where does my data live and how do I navigate to it? So your data is stored securely by Fluxx, and you can access it through your organization's Fluxx site. Every organization has its own unique site. You may hear us call it your instance, which just pretty much just refers to your Fluxx site. Only you and your users can access your specific site. Fluxx is a powerful platform because it gives you many ways to view and navigate data on your site. You may enter Fluxx through the portal that pertains to your profile. This is going to be different for employees and for grantees. Employees and admins working internally in your organization has the access to the portal we're showing here. Now, data living in your system can be found by clicking on the Add Card button, this plus sign here. Clicking on that will open up a card menu that separates all data into logical sections. You will find that there are options to open up a card displaying data pertaining to grants management, budgeting, contact management, project management, ad hoc reporting, and much more. You can modify or add the data in the system instantly. One way to add new data is by clicking on one of the 4 icons at the bottom of your dashboard. These are known as quick links. You could add a new request, a new organization card, a new person, or a new project. Let's go ahead and take a look at those quick links. These quick links are just the most commonly used cards used by Fluxx users. Thus, they're always just a click away. So first, there we have the new request. And as you can see, these are all the request themes that you have configured in your admin panel. Next, we have the button that would create a new organization record. And this is what you would click on to create a new user. And the last button is going to be our new projects card. So now that we've started talking about cards, you might be wondering what these are exactly. So let's go over what a card is. So what is a card? Cards are the logical sections of data on your site. each card holds and presents a specific type of your site's data. To better identify the type of data each card pulls from, we have named them model types. There are standard model types, which are organization, user, grant request, reports, payments, and amendments. These are considered standard because they are vital to the task of grant management. You can add cards to your dashboard by navigating to the Add Card button, as we showed you earlier. Let's take a look. So here you will see a menu of cards you can add to your dashboard. Notice that the menu is separated to categories. Under each category, you will see all card model types associated with that category. For instance, under the contact management category, you will see cards with the pertinent information for all users, organizations, and documents within your instance. If you open the organization card in the Add Card menu, it will display all of the organizations relevant to your site, including the contact information for that organization. And you can see it opens up an organization card right there. Now, adding a card to your dashboard does not create new data, and removing a card from your dashboard does not destroy data. This just changes the display of your data on the dashboard itself. All users have the ability to display data on their dashboard in unique ways. It's a more involved process to delete data, so do not fear, closing a card won't delete any data. Now you might be wondering about whether you can create a unique card or not. Well, you can, and these are called dynamic cards. Although our standard model types are quite comprehensive, you might want to do something like keep records of key personnel or have a card dedicated to keeping record of inventory. Now, these don't exactly fall under the standard Fluxx model types. However, they are an available option to better manage your data by leveraging cards. If you are interested and you do have any additional questions regarding how to create dynamic cards, please visit our knowledge base. We have a couple articles on that. Or of course, please contact us at support@fluxlabs.com. Now let's take a look at navigating within a card. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm going to be opening up a request card. And notice that the card is displaying a list of records that live within this card. This is going to be called our list view. Now, let's say we want to find a specific record. There is a search bar at the top of each card. So we're going to go ahead and search for test. The search bar will search through all of the records associated within the card in your site. So the search for the term test sorted through all the requests on your site. And as you can see, you can sift through your data to find the specific record you're looking for. For now, we're going to go ahead and clear the search. You can do so by either clicking on the small X at the very right of the search bar, or you could just simply delete your search and hit enter. So this will return your list view to its original state, listing all records within this card. You can also apply a filter to the card that you're on to further narrow your search for that record. You can find filters in the action bar of the card, and you'll find that the action bar is a feature that is collapsed. It does not show upon opening the card. Clicking on the tab over to the right of the search bar will actually reveal this action bar, which provides different ways to present and sift through your data, such as the filter that we mentioned. Now, on the left-hand side of the action bar, you'll see that there are different views. The first is the summary view, which gives you a quick and general overview of the data within the card. Next is Spreadsheet View, which gives you a rundown of the records on the card. And last is our map view, which pinpoints geographical locations. So let's say we want to see the request card in a Spreadsheet view. We'll click on that. And now you'll see that all of the records listed in your list view. You can select an individual record by clicking on the request ID. And the individual record will open up in a new card on your dashboard. Notice that there is no list view on this card. This is because it's a standalone card for you to view this specific record. Now, there's other ways to filter cards. For instance, there is a cross-card filter. This provides a pathway from this specific card model you're on and pulling from another model type. Your administrator can set up and modify the cross-card filters available for employees to apply to these cards. So let's take a look at the cross-card filters available on the request card. Let me go ahead and close the records we opened earlier from Spreadsheet View. And we're going to go back to the filter menu on the action bar. Now you'll notice the cross-card filter tab. Notice the 0 in parentheses. That indicates that no cross-card filters are in effect on this card. Now let's click on it to see what filters are available. So let's say I want to filter for users related to a record. For this scenario, we're going to filter for me, Kevin Francisco. The reason we would need a cross-card filter is due to the specificity of the criteria. The data for the filter conditions we're looking for live in a different segment of our site's data. Doing this will further narrow the specificity of the records you're looking for and are viewing on this specific card type. Of course, you will also have the option to use basic filtering. You can see here in our filter menu our list of filters. You'll see that there's a way to filter for status, program, funding source, and more. And you can see here that I'm filtering for the draft status. And I'm going to save. This will filter the card down to show only the records that are in draft state. However, let's say we want to filter for records that do not have a certain status. You could accomplish this with our advanced filter. I'll start by clearing our selection in the basic filter. And it's going to restore the original list. Back into the menu, and you can go into the advanced filter by clicking the switch to turn advanced filtering on. Now, we'll cover advanced filtering more specifically in a future webinar, but in short, the advanced filter allows you to dive deeper into the standard filters that are available to you. And on top of that, you could apply conditional logic to the criteria of your liking. Now let's switch gears here and let's look at the connected data tabs. Connected data tabs will pop up for every individual record you select. So let's get out of the filter menu here, and we're going to click on any record. See now that there's going to be tabs available to you onto the right of the card. So let's say I want to see what organization is linked to this record, if any. We now see a list of the organizations connected, and we're going to go ahead and click on that record. Now, even this subsequent card that opens up on your dashboard will have a connected data tab, so you can navigate data on your site and see how it's all connected. Okay, let's look at other ways to navigate across data on your instance. So to access all data across the entire system, you can use our universal search function. When using the universal search function, it will search any associated records related to the subject line from requests, grants, reports, documents, people, and organization cards. The results will display in a list view that will even allow you to download a card into your dashboard by clicking on the download icon on the bottom right of each card. Now we're going to go ahead and use our universal search, and we're going to search test. So to access the universal search, you're going to click on the magnifying glass right next to your add card menu. And we're going to go ahead and type in test here. As you can see, it brings back results for anything that has test in all card model types. So there's a grant, we have reports here, we have payments, and we also have our funding sources. So click on a specific record and it'll open it specifically within the universal search modal, and clicking on that download button on the bottom right will download that specific record to your dashboard. Okay, so that's going to conclude today's 101 navigation webinar, and I hope you enjoyed it. If there's any features that I did not cover extensively, like that advanced filtering piece, we will be hosting trainings in the future to address these features. You may also learn about any of these features by visiting our knowledge base. So let's go ahead and open it up to a few questions. Okay, first question. If I sign out of my dashboard, will my information be lost? No. When you sign back onto your Fluxx instance, the dashboard that you were previously on will still remain, along with all of the cards and records you had opened prior to logging out. Okay, let's get to this last question that trickled in here. If I use the universal search, is there a way to download more than one record for a specific theme? For example, if I search request test, the answer to that is yes, you can download more than one record when using the universal search function. With the search results, it will show results to all corresponding model themes. I don't know if you remember earlier, it returned results for the grant request, grant, reports, payments. There's going to be a download icon on each model type. So even if you don't click on a specific record, you could click on that download button for that model type, and it would download all three results for grant request. And then you could do the same thing for payments. If there's 7 payments, you click on that download button, and 7 of the payment records will open up in a card for you. Okay, that seems to be the last one that's come in. We're going to go ahead and call it for today. Today we went over where parts of my data live and how to navigate to them. We went over what a card is, how cards are used to facilitate navigating through my data, how to navigate Fluxx more broadly to access data across the entire system, and how navigating in Fluxx differs depending on role. To learn more and access the video recording of this webinar, please visit our knowledge base at fluxx.io/knowledge. There you'll be able to find a list of upcoming webinars, links to register for future webinars, and recordings of past webinars under training webinars. Or, of course, feel free to ask us at support and we'll be happy to help. Thanks again for joining us today, and we hope to host you again at our next training. Have a great day.